Hi everyone, welcome back to another devlog of Punch the Garden, a 2D pixel art brawling game that I'm working on. I will be going through the progress I have made in the past month. The area Seeker's Overpass has been renamed to the Gloom Underpass. For the new areas, I have added the Supply Depot, Prelude Point, and the actual Seeker's Overpass. Next, I began working on destructible objects. When the object is breaking, I simply check for the direction of the incoming attack, as well as the attack type. With that, I can set the velocity of the broken pieces, which are created with Godot's Rigid Body 2D, so this allows me to leverage on Godot's own physics system. I have created a bird statue as a means for players to attain more skills. However, the bird statue requires a donation of some HP. Bear in mind that there is no idle health regeneration in the game. Finally, for the actual Seeker's Overpass, the initial design is like so. Because the top of the screen looks very bare, I decided this was a good time to add in clouds for the game. The overpass is where the first boss appears. I already knew early on that I wanted to have a pigeon, griffin type of monster, so that is what I designed. Since I had just finished the destructible objects, I thought to challenge myself to make the bridge itself destructible. As the bridge pattern repeats, I only had to animate a few sections of collapse. This would provide an interesting arena for players to fight while making sure to land on a platform. A short clip of the boss fight looks like this. Finally, I worked a little on the aesthetics of the game. I added a line 2D trail, 4 experience points, I then learned about the Godot's particle system, which allowed me to make these really nice and subtle ambient particles. I then turned my attention to something that I have been avoiding, shaders. For those not aware, shaders are simply programs that run on every pixel of the texture. It is run in parallel on the GPU, allowing for very fast speeds. If the shader code was run on the CPU, a small 100 by 100 pixel texture would result in the code being run 10,000 times per frame, which is very expensive. When running it in parallel, it is as if you have just a 1 by 1 pixel texture. However, due to the parallel nature, the individual shader codes are run in isolation. You cannot get information from other parallel threads. Another limitation is that you cannot store data within the code. Each frame is run without any clues about what the previous frame has calculated. For monsters, I have a simple shader that flashes white when they are hit to make combat more reactive, and it also toggles the opacity when they are down to indicate that you can't hit them. For the player, I have a simple shockwave that occurs when you dash. I learned how to do the shockwave from watching this tutorial. I highly recommend it to get a better understanding of shaders. On Dev, there is a slight chromatic aberration, and I slowed down the game engine for a more dramatic effect. Lastly, for the trees, I used a noise texture to distort the pixels. This results in a wavy effect. I then used a viewport to pixelate the sprite to keep the pixel art aesthetic. And that is all. For the next month, I will continue creating much more game content. At this point, playing from the start till defeating the final boss takes around 15 minutes. Thanks for watching.